And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The episode that I've been waiting on for so dang long. It's been so long since we talked about Fire Force on this channel, to keep it very much a stat, but I never forgot about it, right? Even though I have been watching it on and off at some times, I still been keeping up with it. Mainly because I've already read the manga, so I know what happens. But when it comes down to it though, this is one of the moments I was been looking forward to. Besides next week, with Arthur and Dragon going at it, which, oh boy, if the budget don't pop off on that, I'm gonna be pissed. But when it comes down to it though, this was easily the other important moment I've been wanting to see when it comes down to it. Let's keep it very much a stack, and especially at a time period where we're dealing with a lot of things like age verifications and censorship and, you know, all these MasterCard and Visas and all this other stuff that coming through to basically hoe us and what we like in our entertainment and things like that. What a better time to come up with this message right now than with Tamaki just stripping it all away and basically showing you what's actually good here, what actually can be allowed here, what should be allowed here. And that's basically, obviously, the thing I was always going to talk about when this episode was going to happen. Now, obviously, the episode itself was very damn good. It basically hit the points of the manga pretty much for the majority as what you would expect it to, right? It's basically almost one-to-one. The only thing, if I had to really pick out what really didn't, I guess, hit the same for me as when I read that chapter for the first time, what really stood out to me was very much how they kind of worded certain things when they started getting into the actual point of the episode, right? Obviously about having fan service to exist and lewdness to exist, and people are okay with that, and, you know, people should have the opinion and have the choice to allow some of that in their lives if that's what they want when it comes down to it. I feel like the anime's way of talking about it was a slight bit more prettier. By what I mean is essentially they kind of went around that topic and kind of like they said what it needed to be said. Like, you still understand what you said, but it's like it's kind of harder to understand a little bit, just like a slight bit harder for some reason. Like it's kind of like they wanted to fully not say the actual lines, right? And obviously I'm watching it in sub, so when it comes down to it, you know, even with the subtitles, it's like they obviously didn't say exactly everything you would think they would say so bluntly, right? Where the manga absolutely just tells you, no, this is how it is, people like this shit, literally move on. And that's just how it is, where it feels like in the anime they kind of just like, you know what, people do like this, and this is just how it is, and it's okay, but it kind of feel like it's a little bit more harder to understand. I don't know, am I tripping? Because I immediately went to read that very same 3 chapters of this whole episode to see if that matched up basically to what it was. Action wise, for the most part, yeah, it did. But the dialogue kind of was like, kind of was more blunt in the manga than the anime. So that's kind of like the thing I would say I'm a bit picky on, that is like on that one, right? Everything else about the episode was pretty damn good, right? And if I wanted to get extra petty and picky, I mean, considering this is the last time we're truthfully gonna see Fire Force on our screens ever again in animated form, to keep it very much a stack, you could have gave Tamaki a little bit more jiggle. I understand it was basically one-to-one with the manga, and sure, fair play, you did it well, but when it comes down to it though, you couldn't give her a bit more jiggle than just 2 frames of that at times. You couldn't just let her just, I don't know, just throw some ass jiggling or something like that, or an extra booba jiggle somewhere. I'm sorry. Again, this is just the last time, like MHA, this is the last time we're ever gonna see these characters on screen doing stuff. Can we get like proper shit? Could we have not gotten proper shit when it comes down to it, right? Like, I know Shonen ain't gonna let it go crazy, but could we get something a little bit more than what the manga did provide at the time? That's my only petty thing I would ask for when it comes down to this. Like, I'll keep it a stack. I still love Tamaki. She's still my favorite one, and there's a reason why, again, Fire Force is like my 3rd favorite show of all anime that is out there. But when it comes down to it though, like, y'all could have gave her a little bit more jiggle than that. But anyway, the episode basically was, you know, still pretty damn good, and obviously they got the point across that, yeah, just because someone might hate lewdness, doesn't mean everybody basically shares that same opinion, which couldn't be a true statement, even more truer than the truest of crack. Let's be absolutely real here. That's basically the whole point of this episode. That was the point of the manga chapter way back when. Hell, when it first dropped, I really remember Fire Force when the manga was like super far ahead. When that shit first came out, every single person complained so hard about Tamaki, about who she is, about what she was doing in the show, and about Fire Force being trash because that character existed. Every single person, you still get that to this day. Every single person come through and just shit on her and shit on the show, even though the show is literally the coolest concept you can ever possibly produce for an anime. Firefighters whooping the shit out of fires. How cooler can you get with that? But when it comes down to it, it was such a time back then, it felt like suffocating. It was literally suffocating with how much hate Fire Force got over her. Man, what was the point of her even being in this scene? Why does she even exist in this anime at all? I don't like that time when she basically was doing fan service stuff when they were fighting, when Shinra was fighting Rekka. That was such a stupid thing. They didn't need to add that. It ruined the pacing of the show and all that sort of jazz. When you should pretty much know, if you watch Fire Force for a long time, you should know anytime she's on screen, GG's, something lewd and crazy is about to happen. You already know. The story basically tells you every single time she's on screen. You're not escaping any episode where she basically is on screen and something lewd and a bit, wild happens when it comes down to it. You might get one. And it might be at the end of the episode or maybe at the beginning where she's not really there too much. But at the end of the day, if there's an episode hard focus where she exists, something's gonna happen, whether it's some booba popping out, whether it's some cheeks at play, it doesn't matter. Something's going to happen, and when it comes down to it, people still didn't understand why it was happening, and it was the most baffling time. Fast forward to now, people have gotten much worse with fan service. People absolutely hate the sight of it now, and when it comes down to it, holy hell, you basically deserve to be in hell when it comes down to it with these so-called people on Twitter that basically be like, holier than thou when it comes down to it, even though these are the very same people that would probably eat their own ass cats. Like, that's exactly the type of forces that we were dealing with here when it comes down to it. And again, this episode could not have come at a better time, with the whole world basically going hard in for censorship in the worst possible way. And it's just a bit crazy. Like, again, it is here for a purpose. It is here for a reason. People just naturally, without the influences of any outside forces, whether it's anime, games, just regular media in general, whether it's books or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're gonna look at somebody that looks good to you and you want to probably pound the shit out of them. Like, let's keep it very much a stack. You probably want to do such a thing, whether it's to fantasize or to really ask for that sort of thing, right? It is what it is. And so many people will hide behind the banner of, oh yeah, we must censor all this stuff away to protect the children. I'm gonna be absolutely honest, and I mean this 100%. No Diddy, no Epstein. Children are gonna know what sex is. They're gonna know what that is. Whether they figure it out on their own, whether it is a friend showing them a hot chick that or something that they shouldn't be seeing at such a young age, they're gonna know what this shit is. Not because they should know, but they're going to know. At this point, especially with the day and age of the internet being so crazy, easy access to basically anything, even with the bum ass age verification, it ain't gonna take a child long enough to be like, how do I see stuff that I ain't supposed to see? Oh, I know, I'll just use a VPN, and if I can't get it at home, I'll go to school and download that shit. That's basically how children think now. Children ain't stupid because we made them smart as shit, and they know everything because how much shit is just in their faces that they really shouldn't even be exposed to when it comes down to it. So of course they're gonna probably think, that fine girl in my class, I would love to slap her on the ass or something like that. Or, I would love to go ahead and try to get something from her or that guy and all that sort of stuff. Hell, high school at that point in time, you pretty much are going to be awakened to a lot of this stuff when it comes down to it. And hell, Even when I was in high school, there was multiple times where people got caught trying to F in the bathroom. So many times. Because they already know what that shit is. Should they be engaging with that sort of stuff? Should they absolutely just be ready to whip it out and just do each other? Absolutely not. That's just not how that should be. But at the same time, when it comes down to it, they're not stupid. They know what that stuff is. The best course of action is to literally let them know what that is naturally when it comes down to how they discover it. And then at the very same time, you put a leash on it in terms of how much should they be engaging with that sort of stuff. Yes, obviously, unrestricted access to basically all kinds of lewd things is just straight up a recipe for disaster. That's why you get, obviously predators to exist. That's why you get rapists to exist. But at the very same time, when you chain that up, suffocating it to absolute death and never letting people to, explore that side of themselves, when they actually get into it, they're not going to know how to properly handle that. They're going to also become predators and rapists as well. And that's just going to be how it is. It's because you're not balancing this shit. You have to do it in a balancing act sort of way. Otherwise, people are going to just straight up do the extreme of either side. And that's not how it should be. You can basically link this up with any sort of part of it in any sexual term as any part that you can kind of go to, whether it is furries, whether it is lollicons, whether it's just your regular vanilla having ass people. When it comes down to it, at the end of the day, yes, there is going to be extremes that could cause terrible situations, but at the end of the day, if you don't allow people to, let them enjoy that sort of thing, or let them be a part of that sort of thing if that's what they want to do, and then you basically try to seal it all away, or you get them too much access to it, then yes, problems will arise. Granted, will problems just arise anyway? Yes, but you will have a better chance with it being balanced instead of just being on both extremes when it comes down to it. In truth, Tamaki's whole purpose of a character is basically, yes, you can have sexy characters to exist. You can have sexy women and men to exist, whether it's in fiction or in the real world. And ultimately, you shouldn't be pissed off at somebody's good looks, or if somebody was blessed with naturally, nice looking body types and all that sort of stuff when it comes down to it. You shouldn't just be pissed off about any of that. You should just let people rock with what they like and just be done with it, right? Or you're going to end up like that mom that basically just had her role finish and basically got just erased from the whole Fire Force universe. She's done. She's not coming back, by the way. The manga basically just says, yeah, that's basically about it. She ain't coming back. She's done. No one knows her name. She got erased. At least the boy got a name, and he appreciated Tamaki's nice ass body. So at the end of the day, who the hell is you? What is your name? Death. So you get the dang point. Is lewdness true strength? To a point, yes, honestly. It helps you develop as a person. It helps you understand what you do like and what you don't like. The ability of attraction is easily something that people are always going to have, and it's nice to know, I think that woman over there looked mad fine. I might go ahead and yap to her. But at the very same time, obviously, make sure you have a good restriction on yourself about how much you should go into that, right? You can't just go into every woman trying to whip your dick out right in front of them and thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get absolute cheeks. We're gonna go crazy. No, that's public indecency, harassment, assault, and very much you're going to prison. So obviously, don't do any of that. Like, the whole real point is, yes, things like sex exist. You don't need to be scared of such a subject. At the end of the day, you need to actually have that around. Just don't go overly crazy with it, and don't try to restrict yourself too damn much when it comes down to it. It's okay to get boners. It's okay to get wet at times. It's okay if you like someone and they like you back and you want to go that far, right? At the end of the day, as long as you are conscious in your decision of what you're trying to make here, as long as you obviously knowing the limits of what you can do on either side of the spectrum, let people enjoy things. Let people enjoy things, and that's literally how it is. So if I want to watch nothing but just the most raunchiest of anime, if I want to play the most raunchiest of games, you should let that happen. And it's a absolute stupid shame and an absolute stupidity at this point of reality that we are in now, where so many people are hellbent on censoring it, and so many people are hellbent on not showing it at all, when we all know deep down, even the most weirdest people out there that is very much for censorship, at the end of the day, yes, they have attractions too. Yes, they also feel those very same emotions when it come down to anything sexy. They will just never say it and admit it because they are just hell-bent on going the extreme way, when we all know collectively, even the antis absolutely know collectively, that yeah, a world where nothing lewd happens is basically a terrible world. And a world where absolute lewdness happens is also a terrible world when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, Tamaki deserves her flowers. Fire Force deserves it flowers. And if you're still pissed off that Tamaki is literally out here throwing ass, shaking tits, doing all this sort of stuff, and you're not very much down for any of this, and you're still on the extremes on, you know, this should be censored, absolutely 100% you are the absolute problem. But that is essentially all I really wanted to say for this one. There's a reason why Tamaki is somewhere within the top something wives that I have, honestly. Just to keep it very much a stat. I never forgot you, Tamaki. I mean, I have watched the show a lot, but I have never forgotten you. I have stood by your side even when everybody shit on you. So to keep it very much a stat, I support this character so damn much. Even to the point where I'm like, yes, Juggernaut, get her cheeks. You deserve them. Absolutely. I'm not even jealous this time. Just go ahead and clap them cheeks. That's how I felt initially when the manga came out, and this is how I feel still now. Go get her cheeks. Date them cheeks. But, you know, also let me slide in real quick and let me have something for the one time. But still, get those cheeks for the boys. But yeah, that's essentially all I gotta say for this one, right? So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on the way out. Also follow me on socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, go find Cash App is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, sign off. Have a blessed day.